to be some common sense.
Yes, sir. They have the car stopped at 10th and Ranch Michael by there.
We still don't know who pulled the trigger. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Police Off the Cuff Real Crime Stories. I'm your host, retired NYPD Sergeant Bill Cannon. Folks, we have some really good news breaking just now. And we found out that Charlotte Sena has been recovered alive. They found her. There's not a great deal of information yet. Again, she was missing from last Saturday from Moreau Lake State Park. Her mother called 911 shortly after her bicycle was found, and the state police believed an abduction had occurred. All we're getting from the state police right now is she's been found alive, she's in good health, and a suspect is in custody, according to New York State Police. An Amber Alert was issued Sunday morning in the search for Sena, who had been camping with her family in upstate New York. Sena was last seen on Saturday evening in Moreau Lake State Park, about 35 miles north of Albany. She had been riding her bike around a loop in the park with other children when she decided to ride around one more time by herself. You know, folks, these kind of cases, they usually don't end this way. And really, I mean, I'm so thrilled. And I think, you know, if you believe in prayer the way many of us here do, I want to put this on the screen.
Upstate New York. For the last 48 hours, hundreds of people have been searching for her. We just got word she has been found alive. Once again, a 9-year-old Charlotte Sena reported missing at 6:45 p.m. Saturday, has just been found. And there is a suspect in custody. Let's go now to Brooke Schaefer, who's live in upstate New York with the very latest. Brooke, can you tell us anything about where she was found and who they've arrested?
Still waiting for all of that information, Elizabeth, from New York State Police. We are just getting this breaking update, as you all are as well. Of course, the overwhelmingly good news here, a 9-year-old Charlotte Sena has been located and in good health. At this point, this is almost exactly 48 hours after she went missing from this state park here in upstate New York. She was on a camping trip with her family. She went for a bike ride and went missing. Investigators today really weren't giving us a whole lot of details, only to say that they had about 400 people searching this state park for Charlotte. And again, just getting this update that they found her. She is in good health, and they have a suspect in custody. New York State Police only saying that at this point, this is still an active investigation, and that more details will be released as they become available. Again, an overwhelmingly good update to this horrible story, Elizabeth.
No kidding, Brooke. These don't always end well, and it's so great that this one did. Of course, I'm sure we'll have more updates throughout the night as we find out the circumstances of where she was taken, how she was found, and who the suspect is that in custody. But we are so happy to report tonight that that 9-year-old girl missing for 48 hours has been found and is okay.
Folks, amazing, right? I think that, you know, something, if I'd like to thank the Police Off the Cuff family for all your prayers for this little girl. And I mean, I truly do believe that helps, and it does work. And we don't have a lot of information right now of someone is in custody. Obviously, this type of case was most likely solved through investigation. What were the investigative leads that they had? What were the investigative tools they used? I mean, this was my area when I was in Manhattan North Homicide Squad. You use all of the art, all of the science you can in a case like this, and it's personal, believe me. This little girl, this little 9-year-old girl never hurt anyone in her entire life, and to be initiated into evil by some, we don't know who this guy is, or who, if in fact it isn't even a male, who the perpetrator is. All we know right now is that they have someone in custody, and little Charlotte Sena is safe. She's alive and safe. I didn't expect this conclusion. I really did not. When I heard the details of how she was abducted, when the state police used the word abducted, I immediately thought the worst. And perhaps the speed in which the family reported the little girl missing, the speed in which investigators got up on the case, all of those things, I believe, had a tremendously beneficial effect on this investigation. And we are just, again, we are loaded with glee that she was recovered. Look, we don't know what occurred, what happened to her over these 48 hours that she was held against her will, if that is in fact the case. It certainly looks that way because, look, they discovered her bicycle laying in the road. What other indications do you need that something untoward happened to this little girl? But the best thing is right now we know, look, this is one of the reports from News Nation on this case as it occurred. I'll play this on the screen, but playing this now and knowing that she has been recovered. Usually the procedures, once she gets recovered, of course, they would reunite her with her family, but they would take her to the hospital immediately to find out if she incurred any injuries, any other type of abuse that she may have, so that they can do a complete, basically physical on her to see if the little girl is okay. But right now, we are just thrilled on the Police Off the Cuff podcast, and all you folks that follow this podcast, we're thrilled that she was found alive. I think that if you would have asked me this an hour ago, I would have said the chances of her being found alive were extremely, extremely slim. I think we also have to realize and thank law enforcement for the job that they do, the unbelievable jobs that they do, the speed in which they came up with a suspect, the speed in which they were able to use all of their talent, all their investigative skills, all their forensic skills to be able to recover this little girl and lock some savage up for this. And we don't know all the details yet. That will be forthcoming. But the most important thing is that this little girl was found alive. And that is the most important. This is before this news came about.
Charlotte Sena is her name, last seen on Saturday night at a state park in upstate New York. Her bike was found about 30 minutes after she disappeared. Juliana Bruno with our affiliate in Albany, New York, joins us with an update on the ongoing search. Any new leads at this point?
Well, Marnie, we've been here throughout the morning watching crews comb through the woods around the Moreau Lake State Park. We've also spoken with friends and family of Charlotte since yesterday, and they just want to see their little girl return home.
Hug your children, first of all. Say a prayer that this resolves itself in a safe manner. But I think we just have to be on guard, ready to do whatever it needs to get done, because every little bit helps, whether you saw something or you think of something, or it just focus on this, because this little girl needs you.
We saw video, we took video rather from around 9:15 this morning, where you can see search crew members stepping off into the woods from the perimeter right near the park entrance. More than 100 law enforcement officers, along with drones, helicopters, and crews on the water, have been deployed to search for Charlotte. The fourth grader went missing after going for a bike ride. Governor Kathy Hochul was here yesterday detailing the lengths the state will go to find Charlotte. She said Charlotte went for a ride with friends and then wanted to take one more loop around by herself on her bike. And when she did not return about 15 minutes later, her parents knew something was up. She was last seen at 6:15 Saturday evening, and at about 6:45, her bike was found in one of the park loops. Again, Charlotte's family just wants to see their little girl again. They're pleading with the public for any information or help. Marnie.
Right. And to that point, Juliana, many people are going to see this in the New York area and surrounding communities and wonder how they can help. What are authorities saying people can do?
Well, of course, you can save her photo to your phone, memorize some of the descriptors about her. She has green eyes, blonde hair. She was last seen wearing a tie-dye Pokemon t-shirt along with black Crocs and a gray bike helmet. It's important to keep those details out there on social media, on TV, and elsewhere, but they are urging people.
So, folks, I'd just like to also interrupt this broadcast by saying she's been found. All right, we know that. But in case you just tuned in, Charlotte Sena has been found. She's in good condition. She's alive. There is a perp in custody right now. There's not a lot of other information about this. That although the news that a perp is in custody is fantastic, we thank law enforcement. You know, one of the things I thought, and I actually heard Duty Ron say it on WFLA, that every car that goes into this Moreau Lake State Park, a camera takes a picture of their license plate. I was not aware of that. If that's the case, that is a huge investigative resource. And the state police could have been running every single plate and finding who owned this car, and then cross-checking that with criminal histories, with sex offender databases. I would not be surprised that the perpetrator in this case is a sex offender that was in this park. I don't know this. I have no information of that. However, it would make sense. And, you know, the fact that this appeared right away, the state police said this appears to be an abduction. That is a tremendous, a tremendous work by law enforcement, that they got on this and they were able to get her and recover her alive and in good condition within 48 hours. I mean, I think we have to appreciate our police when they do amazing things like this. It's just incredible. I think that we have to really appreciate all of their investigative tools. The FBI was on this case also. The way that law enforcement got together and just, put this investigative team together and was able to recover this girl so quickly, just amazing. And I think we owe our thanks to them. And look, I can't say enough about this. I would love to hear more about the suspect being arrested and who he is. What were the circumstances to him kidnapping this girl off a park? Can you imagine that she just took an extra lap around the park, and in that little amount of time, she was abducted? It's like incredible. Her parents, we like to give our children a little bit of space so they can feel a little bit of freedom in a park. You would think like a park like that would be safe. Yet in what you would consider to be a safe campgrounds, the little girl takes an extra lap and someone grabs her. And scary when I heard that they found the bike. They found the bike laying down, and forensically, the bike could have been very important too. DNA, they swabbed the bike for DNA. What if the perpetrator touched the bike? Fingerprints. And another thing that was a little bit concerning to us investigators is that the helmet was not recovered, which would indicate that she was taken with the helmet and she was grabbed with the helmet. And they never apparently recovered the helmet. At least we don't know what happened to it. But that would certainly indicate to an investigator. You see it on the screen: missing child from Saratoga County, Charlotte Sena, 9 years old, last seen in Moreau Lake State Park at 6:15 p.m. Orange tie-dye Pokemon shirt, dark blue pants, black Crocs. And there's the call for the info. So we're, of course, waiting. And, right up to the governor was involved in this case. It's such a big deal, of course, a big deal, a stranger kidnapping, a stranger abduction. Although we hear about it a lot in the movies and that type of thing, it's not that common. And Jennifer Bassett, the FBI CARD team is deployed within hours of being requested. They're an essential asset into abducted children. No doubt, Jennifer, the FBI has toys and assets and resources that the state police don't have. And when you put law enforcement together, they become an extremely, extremely powerful team. Diane Krause, bless all the law enforcement. Thank you for the hard work. Yes, they did an exemplary job. Coca-Cola 330, they found her near a theater outside the park. I didn't know where you got that information, but I don't have that yet. Colleen, my friend, is a state park ranger, and he said you should be surprised how many creeps are in the park. Well, you always have to have your radar up, no matter where you are. Bless her heart, I know the family is rejoicing. The family is probably besides themselves that she was found alive. It's just unbelievable that this could happen, period. And again, we spoke about something also called geofencing. And geofencing is a technology whereby law enforcement can search all the cell sites in that vicinity and find out at a specific time in a specific location how many cell phones were being used in that area. And it's painstaking, and usually it doesn't come back that quickly. However, look, 48 hours, they got a perp under arrest, and they got the little girl. Charlotte Sena is alive. And that is half the battle. Now we'll deal with the rest of it, But an amazing job. Jennifer Bassett, yes, in Florida at state parks, they take documentation of your license plates too, either by cameras or they write it down. That's a great thing. I mean, a great investigative tool when something like this happens. And yeah, it's tremendous, amazing, the painstaking ways we have to take these precautions in this day and age because of things like this, because of criminal activity, because of criminals. But it's an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing. I can't be happy enough about this and covering this pretty much from the beginning. It's a great thing, and we all. I know Duty Ron had the aunt on his show last night. I think that was a great thing. That he got some of the inside information of what is going on in this case, and absolutely up-to-date information. Well, we all, of course, want to hear what actually happened. We'll find that out from the FBI report.
Tonight, 9-year-old Charlotte Sena has been located and in good health. Again, this is just breaking at this hour. We are also told, according to New York State Police, a suspect is in custody and that this is still an active investigation. More details will be released as they become available. This, according to New York State Police, but we understand again, Charlotte Sena reported missing, vanished on Saturday night, found and in good health. A suspect in custody. That Amber Alert has been canceled. This is developing as we speak. So if there are any details we can fill in for you, we will have it this half hour.
So, folks, we're still searching for for more information on this, but as yet, there's been no smoking gun information that this is it. And I would imagine they're probably going to wait for the press conference to get all of the information out there. But just know that she's safe. She's alive, and it's a great thing. It's an absolutely wonderful thing. And as the story comes in, we will absolutely give you the more info. We'll give you more information on this, because right now Again, minus the press conference, we don't have a great deal of information about Charlotte Sena. We know that she was recovered. She's alive. She's in good condition. We who have been following this case are all thrilled with it. We know that there was an Amber Alert, and the state police were on this so quickly that it was just an amazing job from all law enforcement. And we knew Walter Seastrand, all our prayers are answered. Yes. Jennifer Bassett, once he is booked and mugshot taken, well, I think that, what they really need to do is they really need to get a statement from him. They need to keep working and get a confession. They want to find out if there was anyone else involved in this case. They want to know step by step what gave him the idea to do this. Had he been following this little girl? They want to make sure that they got a solid case against him. And once they have all of that information, then he will be fingerprint photographed and all of the arrest processing will be done. But he will definitely be debriefed, and he will be interviewed and interrogated, and hopefully will give a statement. So folks, thrilled that this is the conclusion to this. Hopefully the little girl's in good shape. And it's we usually don't get tremendous endings to these type of things. When you heard that there was an abduction, it was just, you were expecting the worst. And it's right now, it looks like it's a much better situation than we thought it was going to be. Recovered alive. She's in good condition, and we're awaiting, of course, the press conference from the state police to see what the inside of this investigation was. And, hopefully the state police will take a bow and with the FBI and the tremendous job that they did in this case. And as you could say, I use the term full court press. It was a full court press from minute one. Once the parents found that she was in fact missing, it was just a tremendous, tremendous job. Lucy Liu, one news report stated he left a ransom note. I don't know if it ever got to that point where he was going to request a ransom, but I haven't heard that yet. Of course, we will hear that as soon as it comes out. But right now, I haven't heard that. But there is another a live report coming, or breaking news report. Let me put this on the screen here. Let me get this picture off first. I'll put this on the screen here.
Right now into our newsroom, an update on the missing girl, Charlotte Sena. Sources telling News Channel 13 she has been found alive. Let's send it out to Mark Mulholland live at Moreau Lake State Park. Mark, this is a big development.
It sure is, Rachel. It's 6:52. It's not often that we break into NBC Nightly News to bring you information, but here we go. Charlotte Sena, according to law enforcement sources, has been found alive. At the end of our 6 o'clock newscast, at about 6:30, we showed you some pictures of police gathering at SPAC, 2 helicopters, police in camo, long guns, telling us that perhaps they were zeroing in on something. We've now learned they have, in fact, zeroed in on something. We don't know if there's been an arrest made, but we do know, we have it confirmed, that Charlotte Sena, the 9-year-old girl who disappeared from Moreau Lake State Park at about 6:15 on Saturday night, has been found. She is alive. That's what we know at this point. There are still developments to be found out here. We still have very many questions, but the headline is that Charlotte Sena has been found alive. Rachel.
And Mark Mulholland with that breaking update. Mark, at the end of the 6th, like you mentioned, we had those photos of the helicopter, the police in the gear. We have a crew heading to SPAC right now. Have you been able to hear from the family yet as they've heard this news?
Have not been able to confirm with the family. However, we understand that there are still some family here at Moreau Lake State Park. They've been here. In fact, they were allowed to stay when the rest of the park was cleared out. We saw cars racing out of here just a few minutes ago. We also saw state police cars racing out of here. But again, we've confirmed that Charlotte Sena has been found and she is alive.
And thank God for that. Mark Mulholland, thank you so much. Yeah. A brief recap of how we got here. Mark mentioned she went missing over the weekend. She was camping with her family at Moreau Lake State Park. There has been a massive search for her over the last several days. Her bike was found. We've been bringing you team coverage of this throughout the last couple of days here. And today, especially, again, Charlotte Sena has been found alive, 9 years old. We will continue to have team coverage coming up on our late newscast, News Channel 13 Live at 9 and 11. Tanico Penix is speaking to the community about this latest developments that everybody is so happy to hear about. We also have crews that are going to SPAC right now, as Mark was talking about. As we get more information, we will continue to bring you updates on air and online. We will cut in as necessary, and you'll have the latest live at 9 and 11.
So, folks, amazing. Some of you folks in the chat have information I don't have. Bella Finn, thank you. The man in custody was holding her, asking for a cash ransom for her back, and he was a registered sex offender. That was one of the things that we spoke about, that we spoke about it, and we were concerned that they should do a check against the sex offender registry and to see if, in fact, this person was a sex offender. And that turns out to be he's according to what we're receiving now, the news we're receiving now, that he was a sex offender. So all of those resources, all of those investigative tools that you would use is incredible. And something you can't really thank the investigators more. I keep dwelling on that, but they did a fantastic job. Look how quickly. And we're going to hear, apparently there's a whole other part to this story that is, in fact, if this ransom note thing is true, then there's a whole other part to this story that Nanny 23, they got fingerprints off the ransom note, the governor said. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing forensic work. The Truth, Billy, good news on this one, 100%. The Truth just read that this bozo left a ransom note. That's one of the things we always say in policing. Thank God these people aren't smart, because they're diabolical and they're evil. But if they were smart too, then we would have some serious problems. But as I said, Albany Union WFLA says targeted and left note. Deborah Rosen, now there's no question he's a monster, but by God's grace, he didn't kill her. We'll find out as the investigation proceeds who this guy is and what his motivation was, whether he knew this little girl or knew her family. All of those things will be determined in this investigation. So we don't know yet. I think we have a potentially an update from I don't know if this looks like from the other day. The governor was giving an update on Charlotte Sena, so I don't think that that was a after the arrest, after her recovery. This is an amazing end to this. It's just an incredible thing that let me see. I have some potentially more breaking news. If let's see if the station. This is an upstate station. Let's see if this is up to date. And of course, there's going to be, I would imagine, there's going to be a press conference at some point this evening.
Alive. Let's send it out to Mark Mulholland and Sabrina Dami, who are live at Moreau Lake State Park, where that search was headquartered today.
Rachel, this is the news that the entire capital region had been hoping for, but not really sure they would get. But we broke the news a little after 6:30 tonight that Charlotte Sena, the 9-year-old who disappeared from Moreau Lake State Park at about 6:15 on Saturday night, has been found safe, and a suspect is in custody.
Safe and healthy, and thankfully the family here now just getting the news. There are dozens of family members here from Charlotte Sena's family who stayed here at Moreau Lake State Park since Saturday night. They came out a short time ago and of course overjoyed, and we have a little video that I captured on my cell phone and I want to share with all of you of their cheers. Oh, I'm sorry, let's try that one more time, guys. This is live TV, but I want to.
May not be possible because you're dialed in.
Okay, well, we can at least show the picture of the video of all the family members just coming outside, cheering and overjoyed.
Again, that's about 24 family members who had been staked out here at the campground since Charlotte was reported missing Saturday night. In fact, just before that cheer went up, the parents of Charlotte Sena were escorted out of here by state police, presumably to be reunited with Charlotte, who state police tell us is in good health, and the suspect is in custody. One of the family members mentioning to us that presumably out of some sort of routine matter, that Charlotte is being checked out at the hospital, and that's where her parents would be reuniting with her. But again, the news that we'd all hoped for, that we weren't sure would come, did come approximately 48 hours to the minute from the time that Charlotte went missing.
A sigh of relief across the capital region tonight, and our thoughts certainly are with Charlotte's family now as they are reunited, and they're going to hold each other very tightly tonight.
It's not often we get to share good news such as this, and it was an honor to tell you this tonight. Rachel, we'll send it back to you.
Mark and Sabrina, thank you so much, and a great video of the family there. Let's head out to Taniqua Penix, who was supposed to be at a vigil for Charlotte's safe return, but she was there when everybody found out from our reporting that Charlotte was found safe. Tia, what was that moment like?
Rachel, it was a wave of emotion. I mean, the news hit everybody one by one here at Mount Zion Church. We're not too far from Moreau State Park, but people here, those that didn't know Charlotte, they all as parents could resonate, and they were wondering, and they wanted to pray for her safe return. And before they even got deep into their prayers, news broke that she was found safe. Now, before the prayer vigil, I spoke to the pastor. He said they were praying for a miracle. After the news broke, he said God answers miracles. So it was just happiness here. And although some of the people left, there's still some people inside right now. Now they say they want to thank God for this miracle, because everyone, whether they knew Charlotte or not, they were hoping for her safe return. So again, it's so good to be able to bring good news, and people here were happy to be able to celebrate her safe return.
Tia, thank you so much. And she's going to have more for us coming up on our later newscasts at 9 and 11 o'clock. If you are just joining us, a quick recap of how we got here. I believe we have a map of where all of this was happening. This was at Moreau.
Folks, so again, an amazing story. We're all like overjoyed. I mean, they can deal with the rest of this case. The rest of the investigation, hearing about how it occurred. But for now, we're going to enjoy the fact that this little girl was recovered. She's alive. And as far as we know, she's healthy. And we're thrilled. We are thrilled that, again, that she's alive, she's healthy, and they got this mutt that kidnapped her. Just unbelievable. It's, I would imagine later on there will be a press conference. I don't know what time the press conference will be, but we'll be covering it. It's I was trying to find Cuomo. You said he's live, but I don't see I don't see his report right now. But again, this case could not have ended better. Well, it could have ended better if it never occurred. But uh, it did occur, and she's alive, and she's been recovered. She's safe. I think she's at the hospital at this point with her family, and we are just thrilled that this was the conclusion to this story.
News in the search for a missing 9-year-old girl tonight in upstate New York. Kristen Dahlgren joins us live. And Kristen, Charlotte Sena has been found okay, we understand.
Right, Lester. Just an incredible end to this 2-day-long search. It was about 6:45 Eastern when we started to notice state police troopers leaving here where they have been searching with their lights going, peeling out of here. And then we got confirmation from the New York State Police that 9-year-old Charlotte Sena has been found alive. They do have a suspect in custody. It was Saturday evening around dinner time when she was biking with friends here at this state park. And then she wanted to go for one more loop by herself. And that's when her family says she disappeared almost into thin air. They found her bicycle, but there was no sign. That tipped off a massive, massive search here over the past 2 days. But again, tonight, we know that she has been found alive, Lester.
And Kristen, what is the family saying about all this?
Just an incredible moment, Lester. They just came out to thank the media for keeping her story out there. They were celebrating. They were cheering. They said she's alive. They said, we'll try and keep it down. They haven't been able to talk to her yet. They haven't been able to see her, but they are just ecstatic that the little girl that they have been looking for is now safe. She is with authorities, and they hope to reunite with her soon, Lester.
And I'm glad we can report it. All right, Kristen Dahlgren, thanks very much. Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news.
Again, everyone you listen to that was covering this case, there's a feeling of exuberance. There's a feeling of divine intervention here, if I can say that. Someone intervened on her behalf. Someone saved this little girl's life. And I appreciate all of the prayers from the police off the cuff community praying for the safe return of this little girl. Lisa Mounts, thank you so much for the $5 super sticker. Very much appreciated. Carol Grayston, yes, outstanding police work. They did a fantastic job. And the job is not over, but the little girls recovered, and they did an unbelievable job. And again, we're all thrilled with this. We're all thrilled that she's recovered. We're all thrilled that she's safe. We're all thrilled that she's with her family. And as I said, we thank all you folks that kept her in your prayers and kept her on the front burner, not on the back burner, kept her the consciousness of this little girl and the good vibes you put there. And the fact that now she's found, she's found, and she'll get over this, whatever horrible thing happened to her while she was abducted. She'll get over it, because you can't obviously get over if someone kills you. And that's what we were all fearing. We were all fearing that she wasn't going to survive this. And she did. She's alive. And you cannot play that down. That is the most important thing. Life. She's alive. And tremendous work by the police. And this was what I earlier played when we first found out that she was recovered. She was okay. And Elizabeth Vargas on News Nation. I'll just play this one more time.
All right, we have some breaking news on a story we brought to you at the very beginning of the show. That search for that 9-year-old girl who was reported missing from a state park in upstate New York. For the last 48 hours, hundreds of people have been searching for her. We just got word she has been found alive. Once again, a 9-year-old Charlotte Sena, reported missing at 6:45 p.m. Saturday, has just been found. And there is a suspect in custody. Let's go now to Brooke Schaefer, who's live in upstate New York with the very latest. Brooke, can you tell us anything about where she was found and who they've arrested?
Still waiting for all of that information, Elizabeth, from New York State Police. We are just getting this breaking update, as you all are as well. Of course, the overwhelmingly good news here, a 9-year-old Charlotte Sena has been located and in good health. At this point, this is almost exactly 48 hours after she went missing from this state park here in upstate New York. She was on a camping trip with her family. She went for a bike ride and went missing. Investigators today really weren't giving us a whole lot of details, only to say that they had about 400 people searching this state park for Charlotte. And again, just getting this update that they found her. She is in good health, and they have a suspect in custody. New York State Police only saying that at this point, this is still an active investigation, and that more details will be released as they become available. Again, an overwhelmingly good update to this horrible story, Elizabeth.
No kidding, Brooke. These don't always end well, and it's so great that this one did. Of course, I'm sure we'll have more updates throughout the night as we find out the circumstances of where she was taken, how she was found, and who the suspect is that in custody. But we are so happy to report tonight that that 9-year-old girl missing for 48 hours has been found and is okay. Thanks so much.
You know, you love to hear that. You love to hear a news reporter say that, even, as cold and unfeeling sometimes as news reporters are, this is a feel-good story that she's found alive. It really is. It's just, I can't say enough about that. It's just tremendous that I didn't expect it, and that's my cop mentality. I didn't expect that this little girl was going to be found alive. I just did not expect it at all. And now, when this in fact is the case, we can all celebrate. We can all, take a little bow and realize that there is miracles sometimes, and we look at sports miracles. They're not miracles. This is a real life miracle, of a little girl that's now alive because of the outstanding work that law enforcement did in this case. Just an incredible job. And something we can't overlook that. Many people will try to overlook that, but law enforcement was right on top of this from the minute this happened. All the resources were put into this. The FBI jumped in. The state police were all over this. Ronnie Tier, something, Ronnie, I felt the same way when I heard that she was abducted, that her bicycle was left on the scene, and they didn't recover her bicycle helmet. I was very concerned that they would never find this girl alive. Yaya Kelly, I just turned on Police Off the Cuff to this wonderful news. Yes, it is wonderful news, Yaya. Tina Powers, I'm just thinking about the children that don't make it home safe, but thank God this young lady has made it home safe. Thoughts and prayers go out to the families. 100%. It's an incredible day. And something, I hope that this little girl is okay. Traumatic experience. We don't know what trauma she endured at the hand of this savage that kidnapped her. But life always beats the other alternative, Bella Finn, God, and all the prayers from around the world, they went in with SWAT teams. Yeah, I don't know all of the particulars. Calendar Page, do you think having the FBI on this case made a difference in finding her so quickly? Absolutely. Absolutely. Look, law enforcement partnerships are the most important thing. You work together. There shouldn't be any jealousy or who does this or who does that. You work together, and that's how you come up with great conclusions like this. Maya Rowe, Las Vegas. Leaving a note was a miracle. Well, and them being able to lift fingerprints off a note, that was also tremendous. Moonlight View, amen, Bill. Well, thank you, Moonlight View. It's, again, I'm happy about this case, and YLZ Pony, People Magazine investigates Long Island serial killer court investigation discovery tonight. Thank you, YLZ Pony. I'm supposed to be on that show. I know they interviewed me for 4 hours. We'll see how much of is left on the cutting room floor and how much actually makes it to the show. Well, folks, I'm going to say sayonara right now. I was thrilled to cover this, to be able to cover so far the happy conclusion to this. And I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I know there's a lot of other podcasters right now at the same time. And I saw my numbers slowly dipping down as the show started. Everyone went on around the same time. But thank you so much for tuning into Police Off the Cuff Real Crime Stories. Again, Charlotte Sena recovered. She's alive. She's healthy. She's with her family. Thank you for all your prayers. From Police Off the Cuff Real Crime Stories, have a great night and God bless.
One episode just ain't enough.